Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel and today I'm doing the best video of the month, which is my monthly recap. So I'm going to be recapping all the books that I read in the month of July. It's kind of crazy that we're now past the halfway point in the year and it is now August. Frankly, I think that's kind of insane, but here we are nonetheless. And I did read 8 books in the month of July total. I also DNF'd 2, which is a little bit weird for me, but I was kind of towards the end of the month, I was kind of having some trouble vibing with audiobooks for like a week there. And so I was kind of having trouble finding an audiobook that I was going to latch onto. And so I did DNF 2 books. I DNF'd the Medici manuscript by C.J. Archer, which is the second book in the Glass Library series. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it per se. It just wasn't really working for me personally, and I just was not in the right mood for it, I guess. So I DNF'd it. I'll see if I ever come back to this series. It's, it's like, it's fine. It's not like amazing. It's one of those series that like, if I feel like coming back to it, I will. I don't set hard boundaries on myself, but also it's not really grabbing me, so I'm not worried about it. The other DNF was What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. This one, I think I just was having trouble vibing with the people reading the people reading the audiobook. And so I'll most certainly come back to this at some point, but probably in print. I was just having a hard time following the narration and keeping up with it. So I'll probably come back to this in print at some point. So those are my DNFs. But as for the books that I actually finished this month, there were 8 of them, and I'm going to talk about all of them right now. So the first one that I finished this month was A Desolation Called Peace by Arkady Martine. This is the second of the Texclon duology. It's a space opera. It's very political. It's very much about sort of empire and colonialism and sort of cultural assimilation and what it means to culturally assimilate and a lot of different things like that. And the main character is really interesting in that she is, she comes from this culture that is a minority culture, and they're trying not to sort of get eaten up by this bigger empire. But she is also kind of obsessed with this empire, like the culture, the history, the poetry, the language of the empire. And she has a lot of mixed feelings about that, as someone who both loves this, sort of foreign culture, but is also afraid that this culture is going to sort of forcibly assimilate her own. It's a very good duology. I rated the sequel 5 stars. The first book is called A Memory Called Empire. Again, if you're into sort of political machinations, space opera type things at all, this is a very good duology. I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed both of these books, so yes, very good. I then read Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is, of course, the second in the Alex Stern series that began with Ninth House. And I also really enjoyed this one. I maybe didn't enjoy it quite as much as Ninth House, but I do like where it's going. I'm interested in where it's going, and I'm interested to see where she goes with it in the third book. I don't know that I have a whole lot to say about it that wouldn't constitute a spoiler. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying Leigh Bardugo's adult fiction quite a bit. I've now read 3. I've read both of the Alex Stern books, and I've read The Familiar, her most recent standalone release, and I've enjoyed all of them pretty well. So I'm definitely vibing with Leigh Bardugo better than I did when I first read Shadow and Bone all those years ago. So I'm happy about that. Then I read The River of Silver by Shannon Chakraborty. This is a collection of short stories set in the universe of the David Bad trilogy. So this is one of those books that's like really, you should probably only be reading it if you've already read the David Bad trilogy and are into that. As far as that goes, it's very good. I really enjoyed particularly the perspectives of the older prince and his lover. They were great. Excellent, some excellent stories, some excellent perspectives on the trilogy and the different characters in it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I also read the next 2 Murderbot novellas by Martha Wells. So I read Rogue Protocol, which is the 3rd one, and I read Exit Strategy, which is the 4th one. Again, I'm continuing to really, really enjoy Murderbot. I think Murderbot is a great character. I've been listening to them on audio, and Kevin R. Free reads them, and I really, really enjoy his narration. I think his sort of deadpan delivery of the this sort of humor that runs through it is extremely well done, and it makes me laugh out loud in my office quite frequently. I think I liked Exit Strategy the best. I think Exit Strategy might be my favorite one so far, in fact. It definitely gave me all the feels, and it wasn't just fun, fun, fun. It was definitely very feelsy. So, super into that. Yeah, highly into the Murderbot Diaries. And then I also read Provenance by Ann Leckie. This is a standalone novel set in the Imperial Radich universe. So, it's kind of hard to describe all of these books, honestly, because they're so complicated. And they're so like intertwined in the various sort of cultural things. But the characterizations are always so good. The world building is so intricate and so detailed. The different cultures are so well drawn out. And they're so different from anything that I am used to seeing in most sci-fi that I love it. And Joa Ando continues to read the audiobooks, which is excellent. I'm nearly done with the other standalone book, Translation State, right now. And again, they're just all really good. I just really love the Imperial Radich universe. I love Ann Leckie's writing. I love Joa Ando's narration. These are great, excellent books. Then I also read Bookshops and Bone Dust this month, which is, of course, by Travis Baldree, and it is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. And, you know, this was fine. I think I rated it like 3.5 stars, which is like, yeah, it was fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. Probably not as good as Legends and Lattes, or it just didn't hit me as in the right spot quite as much as Legends and Lattes did. But you know, it continues to be what it says on the tin, right? It's true. It's accuracy in advertising, I would say. So it was enjoyable. I enjoyed the characters. I really liked the food descriptions again. Something about the way Travis Baldree describes food always really makes me hungry. It's excellent. So yeah, it was enjoyable. And then finally this month I did read Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb. This is the final book in the Farseer trilogy, and I loved it. This was another banger for me. I'll probably do a more in-depth sort of semi-spoilery review of Assassin's Quest, as I did with the other 2 books. So hold tight for that one. But needless to say, I really enjoyed it. I found the ending to be quite a satisfying wrap-up conclusion to the trilogy while still leaving me wanting to know more, which is a good thing considering we're going to have more Fitz-centric trilogies in the future. And yeah, I continue to be really stunned and amazed by how good of a writer Robin Hobb is, how excellent her characterizations are, and the rich, deep world building and the real sort of emotional and psychological realism, I guess, that she puts into all of her characters that makes them so very compelling to me. And so, yeah, I have thoroughly enjoyed that. So I would say, despite the fact that I DNF'd 2 books this month, I think overall it was quite a good month. Again, I brought my numbers back up to 8, which is great, considering I only read like 4 in June. So yeah, I'm hoping to continue the trend in August. I'm already, you know, pretty deep in the weeds on a couple more books. I'm currently reading, as I said, Translation State by Ann Leckie. I'm nearly done with that on audiobook, and physically I've dived into Ship of Magic, which is the next Robin Hobb. And so, yeah, we're shaping up to be an excellent end to the summer as we start moving towards the fall. And boy, am I excited for fall. Boy, oh boy, am I ready for it to be fall. So yeah, what have you been reading in July? Did you have a good month? What was your best read of the month? And have you read any of the books that I talked about, and how did you like them? Feel free to leave a comment with any bookish talk you have. And, as always, if you want to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to help me out, that'd be great. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.